If you stay with us until the end of this episode, you will not only learn powerful B2 English vocabulary, you might also change the way you see conflict, peace, and even your own reactions.
And here's the uncomfortable truth, Alex. Most people think they want peace, but very few people are willing to practice it.
Exactly. And today on Simple English Cast, we're asking a dangerous but honest question. Can the world really live in peace?
Not just politicians, not just leaders, not just governments, but people. You, me, ordinary humans.
And here's the curiosity gap. What if the biggest obstacle to peace isn't power, but pride?
Oh, that's strong. I can already feel some listeners thinking, wait, what do you mean?
Good. Stay with us.
Can I start with something personal?
Please.
Last week, I was reading the news before bed, just scrolling, just 5 minutes. But after those 5 minutes, I felt tense, heavy, irritated.
Yeah, that feeling like your chest is tight.
Exactly. And nothing had happened to me personally. I was safe, my life was normal, but emotionally, it felt chaotic.
And I think many people listening right now know that feeling.
Yes, you're sitting in your room, maybe drinking coffee, maybe walking outside, but inside, there's tension.
Because conflict is loud, anger spreads fast, outrage travels instantly.
But peace is quiet.
So here's what we're going to do today. By the end of this episode, you will learn advanced B2 English vocabulary about conflict and peace. Understand why hostility spreads so quickly. Discover practical daily peace habits. And most importantly, learn how to disagree without destroying.
That last one might be the most powerful English skill of all.
Because anyone can argue, but very few can disagree with dignity.
So, Alex, let's ask it clearly. Can the world really live in peace?
Emotionally, yes. Historically, it's complicated. Practically, it depends on people more than power.
Let's unpack that, because when people hear world peace, it sounds like a beauty pageant answer.
Yes, like something printed on a poster.
But when we look at history, conflicts repeat, tension repeats, division repeats.
And yet, individuals still want safety. Families still want stability. Children still want normal days.
Let's make this simple. Imagine a regular family somewhere in the world. They wake up, they make breakfast, they argue about small things, they laugh.
Their biggest problem might be traffic or... If you stay with us until the end of this episode, you will not only learn powerful B2 English vocabulary, you might also change the way you see conflict, peace, and even your own reactions.
And here's the uncomfortable truth, Alex. Most people think they want peace, but very few people are willing to practice it.
Exactly. And today on Simple English Cast, we're asking a dangerous but honest question. Can the world really live in peace?
Not just politicians, not just leaders, not just governments, but people. You, me, ordinary humans.
And here's the curiosity gap. What if the biggest obstacle to peace isn't power, but pride?
Oh, that's strong. I can already feel some listeners thinking, wait, what do you mean?
Good. Stay with us.
Can I start with something personal?
Please.
Last week, I was reading the news before bed, just scrolling, just 5 minutes. But after those 5 minutes, I felt tense, heavy, irritated.
Yeah, that feeling like your chest is tight.
Exactly. And nothing had happened to me personally. I was safe, my life was normal, but emotionally, it felt chaotic.
And I think many people listening right now know that feeling.
Yes, you're sitting in your room, maybe drinking coffee, maybe walking outside, but inside, there's tension.
Because conflict is loud, anger spreads fast, outrage travels instantly.
But peace Peace is quiet.
So here's what we're going to do today. By the end of this episode, you will learn advanced B2 English vocabulary about conflict and peace. Understand why hostility spreads so quickly. Discover practical daily peace habits. And most importantly, learn how to disagree without destroying.
That last one might be the most powerful English skill of all.
Because anyone can argue, but very few can disagree with dignity.
So, Alex, let's ask it clearly. Can the world really live in peace?
Emotionally, yes. Historically, it's complicated. Practically, it depends on people more than power.
Let's unpack that, because when people hear world peace, it sounds like a beauty pageant answer.
Yes, like something printed on a poster.
But when we look at history, conflicts repeat, tension repeats, division repeats.
And yet, individuals still want safety. Families still want stability. Children still want normal days.
Let's make this simple. Imagine a regular family somewhere in the world. They wake up, they make breakfast, they argue about small things, they laugh.
Their biggest problem might be traffic, or a deadline, or what to cook for dinner.
That boring day is actually a luxury.
Exactly. Peace means the freedom to have boring problems.
If most ordinary people want peace, why does conflict continue?
I think it often begins with something subtle, prejudice.
Let's define that clearly for our listeners. Prejudice is judging someone before you truly know them.
Yes, you hear one story, one stereotype, one rumor, and you decide people like them are all the same.
And if you don't question that thought, it grows.
And when prejudice grows, it becomes intolerance.
Intolerance is not just disagreement, it's refusing to accept difference.
And then intolerance can turn into hostility.
Hostility means open anger and aggression.
And here's something important. Hostility feels powerful.
Yes, it gives a quick emotional high.
That's the dopamine problem.
Let's talk about that. Why does anger feel addictive?
Because outrage creates energy. Your heart beats faster. Your brain feels alert.
And online platforms reward outrage.
Yes, calm posts get ignored. Extreme posts get attention.
So the system indirectly fuels conflict.
There's a phrase in English, fuel the fire.
Which means making a bad situation worse.
Exactly. And sometimes we fuel the fire without realizing it.
For example,
Sharing a shocking video without checking if it's true.
posting an angry comment when you're tired.
Mocking someone instead of discussing with them.
And every time we do that, we add heat.
Even if we think we're just expressing ourselves.
So, are you saying individuals matter more than systems?
I'm saying both matter, but individuals are where change begins.
Because governments are made of people.
Exactly. And cultures are shaped by daily behavior.
Let's bring this closer, smaller, personal. What does daily peace look like?
Listening before replying.
Asking questions instead of assuming.
Saying, I don't know enough about this.
That sentence alone could reduce so much tension.
But there's another side. Silence.
You mean ignoring injustice?
Yes. There's a phrase, turn a blind eye.
Pretending not to see something wrong.
Sometimes people stay silent to avoid conflict.
But silence can protect comfort, not justice.
And when fear and anger mix for a long time, people can become radicalized.
Let's explain that word.
To radicalize someone means pushing them toward extreme ideas.
Often using fear, humiliation, or manipulation.
And extremism rejects balance.
It says, it's all their fault.
But the world is rarely that simple.
So if hate grows step by step, can peace grow step by step too?
I believe so.
How?
Through reconciliation.
Reconciliation means rebuilding trust after conflict.
And it doesn't mean pretending nothing happened.
It means choosing not to repeat harm.
Let's pause for a second. If you're listening right now, ask yourself quietly, where do you need more peace?
In your thoughts, in your relationships, in your reactions.
Don't answer out loud, just think.
Because awareness is the first step.
In the next part of this episode, we're going deeper. We're going to talk about why pride blocks peace, why being right feels more important than being kind, and how language can either destroy or heal.
And that will teach you powerful B2 expressions you can use in real conversations about difficult topics.
So don't leave, because what comes next might challenge you.
And growth begins with challenge.
This is Simple English Cast.
And this is only the beginning.
Let me ask you something honest. Why do people fight so hard to be right?
Because being right feels safe. It feels powerful. It feels like control.
And losing an argument feels like losing status.
Exactly. Even in small things. Imagine two friends arguing about something simple: politics, culture, money.
Or even something small like lifestyle choices.
Yes, the discussion starts calm, but then one sentence changes everything.
Usually a sentence that sounds like an attack.
Right, something like, "People like you always think that way."
And suddenly it's not about ideas anymore.
It becomes about identity.
Here's a hard truth. Peace often loses to ego.
Let's define ego simply for our listeners.
Ego is your sense of self-importance. It's the voice inside that says, I must defend myself.
And sometimes that voice is helpful.
Yes, ego protects you from abuse.
But when ego becomes too loud, it blocks empathy.
Empathy means the ability to understand and feel another person's emotions.
And without empathy, dialogue collapses.
Let's pause on that word, dialogue.
Dialogue is not just talking, it is mutual exchange.
Mutual means both sides participate.
And exchange means ideas move both ways.
But many conversations today are not dialogue.
They are performances.
Yes, that's such a powerful word.
People are not listening to understand, they are listening to respond.
Or worse, listening to attack.
Let's talk about online spaces for a moment.
The comment section battlefield.
Why does online hostility grow faster than face-to-face hostility?
Because screens remove human presence.
Explain that.
When you don't see someone's eyes, their tone, their body language, it's easier to forget they're human.
That leads to dehumanization.
Yes, dehumanization means treating someone like they are less than human.
And once someone is dehumanized, empathy disappears.
And when empathy disappears, cruelty feels justified.
That word is important, justified.
To justify something means to explain it as acceptable or correct.
People often justify harsh behavior by saying they deserve it.
Or, I'm just telling the truth.
But truth without compassion can become a weapon.
Yes, that's strong. Let's talk about escalation.
Escalation means a situation becomes more intense or more serious.
Arguments escalate when neither side wants to pause.
Or when both sides want the last word.
Have you noticed how powerful the last word feels?
It feels like victory.
But often it destroys connection.
So what's the solution?
Self-regulation.
Define that simply.
Self-regulation is the ability to control your emotional reactions.
Instead of reacting immediately, you pause.
Instead of attacking, you breathe.
Instead of escalating, you clarify.
For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," you might say, "Help me understand your perspective."
Perspective means point of view.
And that one sentence changes the tone completely.
Tone is everything.
Yes, tone is the emotional quality of your voice or words.
You can say the same sentence in two different tones.
For example, interesting. It can mean curiosity or sarcasm.
Sarcasm is when you say something but mean the opposite, often to mock someone.
And sarcasm often fuels the fire. Let me ask you something deeper, Meera.
Go ahead.
Do you think peace requires strength?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because reacting is easy, responding thoughtfully is hard.
That's powerful.
Anyone can shout, not everyone can stay calm under pressure.
Calmness is often misunderstood as weakness.
But calmness is controlled strength.
Imagine emotions like waves.
Okay?
If you react immediately, the wave controls you.
But if you pause, you let the wave pass.
And then you choose your response.
That pause is peace in action.
There's another phrase I want to introduce. Moral courage.
I love that phrase.
Moral courage means standing for what is right even when it's uncomfortable.
For example, telling your friend, "That joke makes me uncomfortable."
Or saying, let's not generalize about people like that.
Generalizations mean making broad statements about a whole group.
And generalizations often create prejudice.
So peace is not just a global agreement.
It's a daily micro-action.
Micro means small,
Small but powerful.
like choosing not to repost something hateful,
Or asking a question instead of assuming.
or admitting, "I might be wrong."
That sentence alone reduces hostility by 50%.
Maybe more.
But let's be honest, practicing peace is not easy.
No, it's not.
Why is it so difficult?
Because humans crave certainty.
Certainty means feeling sure about something.
Extremism offers certainty.
Yes, it says, here's the simple answer.
But real life is complex.
Complexity means complicated and layered.
And complexity requires patience.
Let's talk about triggers.
A trigger is something that causes a strong emotional reaction.
Everyone has different triggers.
For some people, it's criticism.
For others, it's injustice.
Or feeling ignored.
Understanding your triggers helps prevent escalation.
Because if you know your weak point, you can protect it.
Let's practice some B2 level peace language.
Good idea.
Instead of saying, that's stupid, you could say,
I see it differently.
instead of saying, you're wrong, you could say,
Can you explain your reasoning?
reasoning means the logic behind an idea.
Instead of saying, people like you always.
You could say, in my experience.
That removes attack and adds ownership.
Can I ask you something reflective?
Of course.
Have you ever escalated an argument and regretted it later?
Yes, many times.
What did you learn?
That winning an argument doesn't always feel good afterward.
Because connection matters more than victory.
Exactly.
What if peace is not a feeling, but a habit?
That's interesting.
Habits are built through repetition.
So if you repeatedly choose calm responses,
You strengthen that pattern.
just like learning English,
Yes, you don't become fluent in one day.
and you don't become peaceful in one decision.
Let's involve our listeners again.
Yes.
Think about the last disagreement you had.
Did you respond or react?
Did you listen fully or interrupt?
Did you try to understand or to win?
Be honest with yourself.
Growth begins with honesty.
Do you think fear is the real driver behind most conflict?
I do. Not always visible fear, but hidden fear.
Explain that.
People don't usually say, I'm scared. They say, they are dangerous, or we must protect ourselves.
So fear disguises itself as strength.
Yes, it hides behind loud voices.
Let's define fear simply for our listeners.
Fear is an emotional response to perceived danger.
Perceived means something we believe is dangerous, whether it truly is or not.
Exactly. Sometimes the threat is real, sometimes it is exaggerated.
And exaggerated fear spreads quickly.
This is where manipulation comes in.
Let's explain that word clearly.
Manipulation is influencing someone unfairly or dishonestly for your own benefit,
Often by using emotions.
especially fear and anger.
For example, if someone repeats a message like, "You are under threat," again and again,
Eventually, people believe it.
even without evidence.
There's another important word here: propaganda.
Propaganda is information that is biased or misleading, used to influence public opinion.
Biased means showing only one side.
Propaganda often simplifies complex issues into simple enemies.
It says they are the problem.
And when people hear that message repeatedly,
Fear grows.
why does repetition work so well?
Because the brain likes familiarity,
If you hear something often, it feels true.
even if it isn't accurate.
That's why critical thinking is essential.
Critical thinking means analyzing information carefully instead of accepting it immediately.
It means asking questions like, who is saying this? Why are they saying this? What evidence exists?
And what might be missing?
There's another layer here: identity.
Yes, people feel deeply connected to their group.
Whether that group is cultural, political, social, or ideological.
When someone criticizes the group, it feels personal.
And fear of losing identity creates defensive reactions.
Defensive behavior happens when people feel attacked and respond protectively,
Sometimes aggressively,
because aggression can feel protective.
even when it makes the situation worse.
One of the most powerful and dangerous phrases is us versus them.
It creates division immediately.
Division means separation between groups,
And once division grows, empathy shrinks.
because them no longer feels human.
So, what protects people from manipulation and fear?
Resilience.
Define that for everyone.
Resilience is the ability to recover from stress and remain stable during pressure.
Emotionally strong, but not emotionally numb.
Exactly. Resilience doesn't mean you don't feel fear.
It means fear doesn't control you.
How do we build resilience?
First, emotional awareness.
That means recognizing what you're feeling.
Instead of saying, they are terrible, you pause and say, I feel threatened.
That small shift changes everything.
Reflection means thinking carefully before acting.
Reaction is automatic.
Reflection is intentional.
And peace requires intention.
There's another important word for peace: compromise.
Compromise means both sides give up something to reach agreement,
But many people see compromise as weakness.
when actually it's cooperation.
Cooperation means working together towards a shared goal.
And here's something interesting. Even groups that disagree often share basic goals.
Safety, stability, opportunity.
Dignity,
Exactly. So why do they clash?
because they disagree about how to achieve those goals.
Let's talk about escalation again.
Escalation happens when fear and anger feed each other.
Like two mirrors reflecting negativity.
Yes, one insult leads to another.
And soon, the original issue is forgotten.
There's another advanced concept: cognitive bias.
That sounds complex. Explain it simply.
A cognitive bias is a mental shortcut that causes errors in thinking.
For example,
Confirmation bias.
which means we look for information that confirms what we already believe.
And ignore information that challenges us.
So what's the opposite of confirmation bias?
Open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness means being willing to consider different perspectives.
Even when they make you uncomfortable.
Growth often feels uncomfortable.
Let's give listeners some useful B2 phrases again.
Yes, practical language they can actually use.
Instead of saying, "That's fake," you could say,
I'm not sure about the reliability of that source.
reliability means how trustworthy something is.
Instead of saying, you're brainwashed, you could say,
It seems like we're interpreting this information differently.
interpreting means understanding or explaining something in your own way.
Let's zoom out for a moment.
Okay.
Do you think global peace is possible?
I think perfect peace is unrealistic.
Realistic means practical and achievable.
But reducing hostility is realistic.
That's an important distinction.
Distinction means recognizing a difference between two things.
The difference between no conflict and managed conflict.
Conflict will always exist.
But violence doesn't have to.
Breaking cycles requires awareness.
And courage.
Because choosing calm in a loud world feels strange.
Almost rebellious.
Yes, calmness can be a quiet rebellion.
Let's pause again.
Close your eyes for a second if you can.
When was the last time fear influenced your opinion?
When was the last time you shared something without verifying it?
No judgment.
Just awareness.
Here's something important. World peace starts with internal peace.
Internal means inside you.
If your mind is constantly hostile,
Your words will be hostile too.
if your thoughts are balanced,
Your communication becomes balanced.
let's make this practical.
Yes, habits people can start today.
Pause before posting. Verify before sharing. Ask before accusing. Listen before concluding.
And breathe before responding.
Now we're entering a sensitive area.
Yes, forgiveness.
Let's start simple. What is forgiveness?
Forgiveness is choosing to release resentment towards someone who hurt you.
Resentment means long-term anger or bitterness.
But forgiveness does not mean saying, it was okay.
That's very important.
Forgiveness is not approval. It is emotional freedom.
Here's where things get complicated. What about justice?
Justice means fair treatment and accountability.
Accountability means taking responsibility for your actions.
Some people think forgiveness cancels accountability.
But real peace requires both.
Yes, without accountability, forgiveness can feel forced.
There's something called superficial peace.
Superficial means shallow, not deep or real.
It looks calm on the outside.
But underneath, resentment still exists.
And hidden resentment eventually resurfaces.
Resurfaces means comes back again.
Let's talk about trust.
Trust is confidence in someone's honesty or reliability.
And trust is fragile.
Fragile means easily broken.
Once broken, rebuilding trust takes time.
And consistency.
Consistency means repeated, reliable behavior.
Why does rebuilding trust require time?
Because emotional wounds don't disappear instantly.
Wounds can be physical or emotional injuries.
And emotional wounds often last longer.
That's why reconciliation is slow.
We mentioned reconciliation earlier.
Let's deepen that definition.
Reconciliation is restoring a relationship after conflict.
Restoring means bringing something back to a healthy state.
But reconciliation doesn't always mean returning to the same closeness.
Sometimes it means peaceful distance.
That's powerful.
This brings us to boundaries.
Boundaries are limits you set to protect your well-being.
You can forgive someone and still set boundaries.
For example, you might say, I forgive you, but I need space.
That's not hostility. That's self-respect.
All of this requires emotional maturity.
Maturity means developing wisdom and self-control over time.
Emotionally mature people can hold two truths at once.
For example,
I was hurt, and I choose not to continue the cycle of hurt.
that's growth.
Cycles repeat when pain is passed forward.
Breaking the cycle means refusing to transfer pain to others.
That's hard.
Very hard.
Now let's zoom out again.
Okay.
Societies also experience conflict.
And collective trauma.
Collective means shared by a group.
Trauma is deep emotional shock or distress.
When societies experience trauma, trust decreases,
Fear increases.
and suspicion grows.
Some communities use restorative approaches.
Restorative means focused on healing rather than punishment.
Instead of only asking, who is guilty?
They ask, how can we repair the harm?
Repair means fix or improve damage.
There's also the concept of mercy.
Mercy means compassion shown towards someone who deserves punishment.
But mercy without justice can create imbalance.
And justice without mercy can create bitterness.
Peace often lives in balance.
Let's make this personal again.
Yes.
Have you ever apologized sincerely?
Yes?
What made it sincere?
Taking full responsibility without excuses.
Excuses weaken apologies.
And true accountability strengthens trust.
Let's give listeners useful phrases.
Good idea.
Instead of saying, I'm sorry if you felt hurt,
Which avoids responsibility.
you can say, I'm sorry for what I said. It was wrong.
Clear, direct, responsible.
Instead of saying, that's just how I am,
You could say, I recognize that behavior wasn't helpful.
recognize means acknowledge or accept something as true.
There's another word connected to trust, transparency.
Transparency means openness and honesty.
When people are transparent, suspicion decreases.
Because hidden information creates doubt.
Do you think long-term peace is possible?
Yes, but only with continuous effort.
Continuous means ongoing, not stopping.
Peace is not a one-time achievement.
It's maintenance.
Like caring for a garden.
If you ignore it, weeds grow.
We talked about root out earlier.
Yes, remove completely.
Hate must be rooted out carefully.
Because hate hides in language,
In jokes.
in stereotypes.
And in silence.
Let's do a quick reflection.
Okay.
Is there someone you need to forgive?
Or someone you need to apologize to?
Is there a boundary you need to set calmly?
Sometimes peace begins with uncomfortable conversations.
There's another advanced word, alignment.
Alignment means agreement between your values and your actions.
If you say you value peace,
But you constantly engage in hostility,
there is misalignment.
and that creates internal tension.
So, Meera, before we end today's episode, I want to ask you something directly, and I want everyone listening to imagine I'm asking them personally. What if your English problem is not about English at all?
That question itself feels dangerous, Alex. Because if it's not about English, then what is it about?
Exactly. And that's where most people stop thinking. They blame vocabulary, they blame grammar, they blame pronunciation, but they never question their identity.
Identity. That's deep. Are you saying people don't improve because they don't see themselves as English speakers?
Yes, and I want everyone listening right now to feel this carefully. You don't act according to your goals, you act according to your identity.
So if someone says, I want to speak English fluently, but deep inside they believe I am bad at English, their behavior will match that belief.
Exactly. And that belief wins every time.
That explains so much. People try for a few weeks, then quit, because deep inside they never believed it was possible.
Yes. And here's the secret no one tells you. Fluency begins the day you stop asking, can I, and start saying, I am becoming.
I love that. I am becoming. That feels powerful.
And to everyone listening, I want you to repeat something silently right now. I am an English speaker in progress.
That small shift removes pressure. It makes growth natural.
Exactly, because pressure blocks learning. Identity unlocks it.
If someone listens to this entire episode and still asks, okay, but what should I do tomorrow? What would you tell them?
I'd tell them 3 simple things.
Let's hear them.
Step 1, speak before you feel ready.
That's scary.
Growth is always scary.
True.
Step 2, make mistakes loudly.
That's even scarier.
Exactly why it works.
And step 3?
Speak every single day, even if it's just 5 minutes.
Consistency over intensity.
Always.
I remember when I used to translate every sentence in my head before speaking. It was exhausting.
Yes, many listeners are doing that right now.
And when I stopped translating and started thinking directly in English, everything changed.
That's the real turning point. And here's something important. You don't start thinking in English because you're fluent. You become fluent because you start thinking in English.
That reverses the logic completely.
Exactly. And that's the pattern break. Most people are waiting for confidence before speaking, but confidence comes after speaking. So here's a challenge for everyone listening.
I like challenges.
For the next 7 days, record yourself speaking English for 2 minutes daily.
About any topic?
Any topic, your day, your thoughts, your plans.
And don't judge yourself?
Exactly. Just observe. Improvement happens through awareness, not self-hate.
I feel like today's episode gave more clarity than motivation.
And clarity creates action.
If someone feels excited right now, that's dopamine.
Yes, and we want to convert that excitement into movement before it fades.
So don't just close this episode and forget it.
Exactly. Do something immediately after this.
Send a voice message in English.
Speak in front of a mirror.
Write 3 sentences about what you learned today.
Action locks learning.
Earlier you said, no one tells the secret. What exactly is that secret?
The secret is simple but uncomfortable.
Tell us.
You don't lack ability, you lack exposure and courage.
That hits hard.
And courage grows only when used.
If someone listening feels hopeless, what would you say to them right now?
I would say this: your English level today does not define your future voice.
That's beautiful.
You are one decision away from change, not 1 year, one decision.
And that decision is to practice daily.
Exactly.
Before we end, let's ask something from our listeners.
Yes, if this episode shifted your perspective even slightly, share it with one person who struggles with English.
And comment below, I am becoming fluent.
Because when you write it, you declare it.
Today wasn't just about English.
It was about identity.
It wasn't just about grammar.
It was about courage.
And it wasn't about talent.
It was about consistency.
Thank you for listening to Simple English Cast.
Keep speaking, keep growing.
We believe in you.
And remember, fluency is not magic, it's practice.